Hey everybody, it's Adam with Rockingham Cooperative. Wanted to bring you all another virtual producers meeting. This one again also from Ridley Block and Sweetlix. Since we're getting into the spring season, many of you all may be putting your cattle back out onto forage as the grass starts to grow, and so we wanted to bring your attention to the fact about some issues that may arise if you're putting your cattle out on fescue, specifically with fescue toxicity. Now we have Sam Strahan with us, the rep from Ridley Block and Sweetlix, and he's going to talk a little bit today about how that can affect your cattle if you have them out on fescue, and some products that Ridley Block and Sweetlix has available that can help address those issues. Without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Sam.
Hi, my name is Sam Strahan, account manager for Ridley Block, maker of Sweetlix products, and I want to talk with you today about fescue and some of the challenges it brings, but also some solutions we can offer through Sweetlix and Rockingham Co-op. In this map of the U.S., the orange section is referred to as the fescue belt and encompasses about 37 million acres, which include over a quarter of the beef cows in the U.S. Now, in most fescue, there is a fungus inside the plant called an endophyte, which produces chemical toxins known as ergot alkaloids, which are detrimental to livestock production. These ergot alkaloids are beneficial to the plant, helping with insect resistance, reducing grazing pressure, and helping with drought tolerance, but as shown in this next slide, can be quite harmful for good animal performance. We know that ergot alkaloids cause constriction of the blood vessels, reducing blood flow to the extremities. In warm weather, this results in added heat stress as cattle struggle to cool themselves. As indicated by the arrows, we often observe these other problems of reduced intake, weight gain, conception rates, milk production, and calf survival, while often experiencing increased abortions, rough hair coat, and salivation in the cattle. During cold weather, the circulation issues to the extremities mentioned earlier sometimes lead to hooves or tail switches dropping off. Now, estimated economic losses are huge in the cattle industry, estimated in 2015 at $3.2 billion, and also can be devastating for producers with sheep, goats, and equine breeding operations. There are a number of products in the marketplace designed to reduce toxicity symptoms after they occur. But what if we were to prevent fescue toxicity from occurring in the first place? Much like using a seat belt to protect ourselves, wouldn't it be best to protect our livestock from these toxic symptoms? Let me introduce FEB 200, a natural nutritional supplement from yeast introduced by Alltech in the early 2000s, aimed at helping cattle achieve their true genetic potential. In this early study, steers were fed fescue seed with or without the endophyte containing ergot alkaloids. The top orange line is a measurement of the alkaloids found in the manure at a much higher concentration than in the manure of cattle fed endophyte-free seed. In a follow-up study, intake was measured, showing in the top graph how cattle ate more when fed the FEB 200 diet. In the bottom graph, steers remained cooler on the FEB 200 diet, similar to steers in the endophyte-free group. Critical to any cow-calf operation is conception of the mama cow. In this 2001 study, grazing cows supplemented with FEB 200 in their grain in the right column had conception rates of 94%, similar to the control group shown in column 1. Cows on endophyte-infected fescue had conception rates only around 77%. In other words, cows on endophyte-infected fescue given FEB 200 performed as well as those on an endophyte-free grass. The carrying cost of several open cows in the herd can be very expensive to a producer. So in conclusion, we can see where several studies indicate animal performance can be affected when cattle grazing endophyte-infected tall fescue are fed FEB 200. It is suggested to start feeding FEB 200 prior to exposure to high doses of alkaloids. The alkaloid levels in endophyte infected fescue mimic the growth pattern of the grass. So as spring approaches, we can expect these toxic levels to increase significantly. So now is the time to be proactive against fescue toxicity. Since we know that fescue toxicity is prevalent in Virginia cattle herds, here are some products containing FEB 200, both in mineral and tub form. The first two minerals are in our newest line of products called Blueprint, and we offer this with or without Clarifly for fly control. Blueprint is very unique in the market as the trace minerals are in 100% organic or chelated form, the same form as would be found in the grass or hay cattle consume. With this form comes better absorption, which translates into improved gains, conception rates, and colostrum quality. Next is the Sweetlix Classic Fescue Balancer with MAG, a high MAG product also containing a portion of trace minerals in the chelated form. As with all of our minerals, they each contain the organic form of selenium called Celplex, again for better absorption when compared to sodium selenite, which is the standard source of selenium in most minerals. Lastly, if you prefer the benefits of more consistent intake provided by feeding cattle with tubs, the Bovalix 20% Fescue Max low moisture block comes in a 200-pound size and, like all low moisture blocks, is a high energy, low intake form of supplementation. Like the others, it contains FEB 200 and is specifically fortified to help cattle overcome fescue toxicity problems. I hope you will visit your local Rockingham Co-op store to learn more about these products and how they can help improve grazing management for your cattle on toxic fescue pastures. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you so much, Sam. We appreciate you taking the time to share that information and educating our producers. We invite all of our customers, all of our community members to visit their local Rockingham Cooperative Farm Supply store with any questions you might have about fescue toxicity or any other Ridley Block and Sweetlix and Ultralix products that we have available. Again, be sure to think about this when you're putting your cattle out onto this spring grass, if you're putting them into fescue especially. Again, visit our local stores and visit us at www.rockinghamcoop.com.